For the last 10 years, we've been dedicated to telling stories that make people care.
From conservation films in the Chesapeake Bay to stream restoration stories in Japan, we've been around the world telling stories about amazing people doing work for good. And to be honest, we thought a lot of those experiences were going to make us great storytellers. To tell you the truth, that's not how it went at all.
We made every mistake in the book. Stories that fell flat, edits that didn't connect, and lessons that can only come the hard way.
And that's how, in the next few minutes, we'll save you a decade's worth of storytelling mistakes that we've already made.
From a young age, we were both obsessed with two things: nature and stories. Playing in the woods and fishing for anything that would bite quickly turned into us filming the process and creating videos that gradually turned better and better. Emphasis on the word gradually there.
That's it for this week's episode of Bass Bound Fishing. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out our Instagram page, Bass Bound Fishing. Catch you next week.
Since then, we've somehow managed to create some award-winning stories, build our own community, and work with some of the biggest names in the industry through our own creative agency by using our past experiences to help good businesses grow. Right now, we're heading into the office to help you avoid the major mistakes that we've made along the way. While all three of these lessons are certainly essential, it's safe to say that the third lesson has been the most important for us.
The first mistake that we've made is forgetting about the human element. You see, we focused on things like fly fishing and rivers and forests and even wildlife. But as great as those things are, people don't connect with things. People like to connect with people.
In one of our best examples where we learned this lesson was with our short wild and scenic film that we made with the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. Originally, we thought the story was about water quality, but what really unlocked the emotional connection that made that film successful was when we realized it was really about the crabber who depended on that water quality to make a living, or the farmers who are protecting their soil and water quality for the next generation. People need an emotional connection to remember a piece of information, and we say all the time that stories are just facts wrapped in emotion. So if your audience can't see themselves in a story through a character they recognize, they'll never really feel why it matters. And every great story, no matter how big, is really about people.
The second mistake that we've made is overcomplicating the story, and we've all been guilty of this. Throwing everything into one film, too many facts, too many characters, too many side plots, all in the name of gaining more credibility. But complexity actually kills clarity.
When we created our mountain lion documentary, there were endless angles with the story. Biology, ranching, culture, history. But to be honest, the film really came alive only when we simplified the story down to one clear thread: how people can coexist with mountain lions. So if your audience only remembers one thing, what should that be? Strip away everything else within reason, and that's your story.
And finally, mistake number 3, ignoring modern distribution. For years, we poured everything into the video, the beautiful documentary, the client-centered piece, and we would post it once and wonder why we weren't reaching any new audiences. The reality is, stories today don't live in one format. A great story needs to break apart into vertical shorts, reels, behind-the-scenes clips, blog posts, and photos. Each is a doorway that meets people where they are and potentially pulls them into the bigger story.
At the beginning, we were super stubborn with this. We knew that these vertical videos and TikTok-style shorts were getting a disproportionate amount of views, but the idea of cutting our cinematic horizontal shots into these vertical clips genuinely hurt our hearts. But eventually, we sucked it up, and we started transforming our films into an army of short-form pieces of content. And funny enough, that's when we really started to grow our own audience, and that's also when our films started to get real attention. This step is so important now in this age of interest-based media. So if you only take one lesson from this video, let it be this one. Don't just make a story, design it to travel. If you found this video at all helpful, we would really appreciate it if you liked it and left us some feedback in the comment section. Not every video is going to look like this. We make films, We share what we're learning and we support conservation. If that sounds like your thing, please hit subscribe and grow with us.